Hey everybody, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Michael Noland. Tonight we're going to be talking about Styx and Foreigner. They're out on tour for their Renegades and Jukebox Heroes tour, also sub-billed as Together Live for the last time ever. All I can say is promises, promises. Now, about these two bands, Styx and Foreigner. As most of you know, I have covered Foreigner many times on this channel. I am both a fan of the original Foreigner, or that group of musicians that were responsible for not only the vast majority of their hits, but their best albums as well. What I haven't been a fan of is this current lineup of Foreigner. I didn't like it even when Mick Jones toured with them consistently, being the only original member of the band I once knew. They have consistently made tons of money over the past 2 decades and are nothing more, in my opinion, than a tribute band with their claws in on a name of a greater band. Now, Styx, on the other hand, is a completely different animal for various reasons. First of all, I haven't talked about Styx too much on this channel, and the main reason is I'm not a big Styx fan to begin with. I like some of their early stuff. I was a bit of a fan of Tommy Shaw, but out of that whole group of bands from that time period, and you know who I'm talking about, we're talking about Foreigner and Styx and Boston and Journey and Kansas. You know, that whole plethora of bands at that time that kept rock and roll alive and well on top 40 radio. Styx out of that group was the least favorite for me. I don't know what it was. It could have been Dennis DeYoung's voice, his style of writing. After all, he wrote 7 out of the 8 top 10 hits that band produced and had a top 10 hit himself as a solo artist. But as far as what I would hear on the radio in general, it was a hit and miss every single time they released a single for me. As far as the band that's out there touring today, they're not quite a tribute band. There are some longtime members there aboard, but they are missing Dennis DeYoung, again, their predominant songwriter and vocalist. And just like Kelly Hansen for Foreigner, they've got a clone up there covering the lead vocals. Now, from what I understand with Foreigner, none of the current band that's showing up live are being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is appropriate. But what does that mean for them? You see, they're still out touring. To them, this is the day-to-day grind of making music for as long as they can as a legitimate band out there offering basically nothing new to their audiences. At least with Styx, they have released, 3 or 4 albums over the last 25 years. I know, not really a great accomplishment compared to back in the day, but at least they are continuing to write with longtime members, and their last 2 albums actually got quite a bit of critical praise. So this wonderland of a marriage of these 2 bands touring together has got me a bit confused. On one hand, my least favorite band out of the 2, I have more respect for what they are actually doing in the now. And yet on the other hand, they choose to partner with a fake band, a tribute band that gets to call itself Foreigner. And folks, they are all in. You see, not only are they touring together, but they are offering, you can buy at their concert, a brand new album. So in a sense, they are actually touring to promote a new album. Now, what is going to be on this album? Well, no new material, so don't get excited there. And I guess the record is basically gonna have one band on one side, the other band on the other side, and it will be including live recordings of what? That's right, their biggest hits. Now, this record is a limited edition record, so I'm wondering, are they trying to get like audio files out here? Well, maybe not, because one of the editions of this record is nothing more than a picture disc, and it is the most limited out of the two editions. You see, the picture disc will only have 1,000 copies, the other a mere 5,000 copies. Now, back in the day, either one of these bands could fill an arena all on its own, and yet here we see they are really on a tear of a tour here. They are doing well over 30 shows by the time August 28th rolls around, you know, the end of their tour. Any bets on that, folks? Watch for extended dates. I'm telling you, this is gonna bleed like many tours these days right into 2025. Added to the fact that it's going to take the name of both of these bands to fill the arenas. Otherwise, they wouldn't even be bothering to team up. And the fact that they're adding these specialty items, you can tell that the bloom is off the rose for both of these bands. Any hopes of Kelly Hansen getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was probably squelched when they decided to finally, and I think the only reason that Foreigner is getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it's a formal apology for the abysmal behavior of Jan Winter over the decades, and no band suffered more under his thumb than Foreigner. So it's a public apology, nothing more than that. But you know, that was bad news for Kelly Hansen. Jeff Pilson, who had through interviews, this channel covered it many times, seemed to be hinting at how they feel that the band should be included into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they were including a lot of we-isms in those interviews. So with Mick Jones gone for all intents and purposes, merely the owner of this name that he rents out to these clones, this band has absolutely nothing to offer you other than this. You can now say, when you see this tribute band, that you have seen Foreigner. Of course, you and I both know you haven't seen Foreigner. As a matter of fact, anybody who has gone to see either Styx or Foreigner in the 21st century has never seen either one of these bands. Let's be real, folks. I've used the analogy before that if you were one of those who have seen the few times that Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr have performed together on stage, you could no more claim to have seen the Beatles than you could have claimed to have talked to John Lennon that very night. Why is it all of a sudden okay for avatars to tour under band names? Try ABBA, try Kiss, and dead ringers to tour under a greater name like Foreigner, and try the Guess Who as well. As a matter of fact, that's funny because when I was looking up the information on this video, one of the members of Styx also played in the Guess Who, another fake Guess Who. Now, I know it's summer, and both these bands had a lot of great summertime good feel hits to them, and who wouldn't want to hear that music? But folks, if you live in at least a medium-sized city anywhere in the Western world, I can guarantee you, you're going to be able to go see a tribute band that covers Foreigner even better than this tribute band that gets to use the name. As a matter of fact, I'll bet you could find local bands that sound as good as the original Foreigner and Styx doing both bands' music all in one evening. And you wouldn't have to pay high gas prices to drive to this venue or to fly to it, which would cost you even more, parking for the venue, putting up with 10 times more people than is humanly comfortable to hang around with, and you won't see them any bigger than this unless you're watching a screen that you could block with your iPhone from the nosebleed tickets. On top of all of that, you would have done something that I've always been a big supporter of, and that is supporting the local music scene. Those musicians are your home team. Now, I do want to reiterate, the reason that I see this as such a big problem is this is almost training the new gen concert audience, you know? It's like training them up on what to expect for the next 50 years. You're not to expect true live performances, lots of lip syncing, bands claiming to be who they're not, no new music, lots of t-shirts to be sold, picture discs, limited albums, horrible parking conditions, and you will like it. You will love it, by God. Well, not me, folks. I will have nothing to do with anything so disingenuous as either one of these bands. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed the video tonight. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I say that in every single video, so don't think that's gonna be going away anytime soon. It does help kick the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, into gear. And every so many thumbs up, that register and kicks it on into more people's home feeds. When that happens, they come on over. If they like what they see, they even subscribe. The channel grows, and I thank you so much for that basic bit of support. All right, so I'm gonna have to gear myself up a bit for the comments on this video. I kind of set myself up with this video. First of all, I talked about a band I haven't really talked about a whole lot on this channel, Styx, so I don't know how many of you are even Styx fans. But if you don't agree with me about them, get in on the comments, man. Let me know why I'm wrong about that band. I am willing to be educated. And if I struck a nerve tonight and you are as angry about what's happening with the live music scene, give a comment there. People are watching this channel. It's grown phenomenally in only about 2 years and 5 months since it's been a rock channel. All right, folks, I'm Michael Noland. This is The Bottom Line, and for you newer viewers, the bottom line only as I see it. The real bottom line, and why I call this channel The Bottom Line, is in the comments. You see, I get voted down all the time in regard to my opinions. I'm only the leader in that I start the question with my videos. The real answers are always in the comments, where we are the tribe.